The sun beat down fiercely on the old compound where mosquitoes danced in the humid air. Adunni sat outside her family's home, staring at the fraying edges of her tattered wrapper. Her presence felt strange in a place she once knew so well. She had only just returned after 16 long years, locked away in the attic by her stepmother, Aya Abike, under the guise of safeguarding the family's honor. Adunni was now free, but many things had changed, especially her sister Abike, who was getting married today. The small yard buzzed with the sound of preparations. Women in brightly colored wrappers hustled around, cooking large pots of jollof rice, while children darted between them. Adunni's throat tightened as she listened to the laughter. These sounds were foreign to her now. She heard her stepmother's voice above the din, sharp and commanding. Iya Abike had always controlled everything and everyone, including Adunni's life. A bike approached her, a bundle of nerves and excitement in her eyes. Adunni, you finally came out. You should have been helping us all this while, she said with a forced laugh. Adunni forced a smile back. The years in isolation had made her a stranger to jokes. Yes, I'm here now, Adunni replied softly, her eyes drifting towards the attic window, a place she thought she would never escape. As the sun moved overhead, an old friend, Funmi, who used to sneak Adunni bread and conversation during her confinement, sidled up to her. How are you really, Adunni? She asked, concern etched in her face. Adunni remained silent, unsure of how to voice years of pain and betrayal. Instead, she shrugged. I manage, Funmi. Adunni's heartache deepened as she watched her stepmother flutter around a bike, planting kisses on her forehead and attaching a sparkling veil to her hair. The stepmother's affections, which Adunni had craved for years, were now on display for everyone to see. Aya Abike's laugh carried falsely sweet undertones that sent shivers down Adunni's spine. Later, in a corner of the compound, Adunni's father approached her, his face weary beyond his years. Ah, you have returned to us, he said, avoiding her gaze. Adunni felt the old wound open, the bitter memories washing over her, but she nodded outwardly. At least for today, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Inside the family house, the decorations for the wedding sparkled in the dim living room light, marred only by Adunni's presence, silent like an ancient ghost. She stood near the door, her siblings and relatives passing by without notice, as if she were truly invisible. Adunni's gaze fell upon her stepmother, who spoke in hushed tones to a group of women while tossing glances in her direction. Some people just bring bad luck, Iya Abike whispered, loud enough for Adunni to hear. The words were like thorns, and Adunni was fast remembering why she never wanted to return. Suddenly, a commotion erupted. The groom's family had arrived, demanding to see a bike. A bike protested, but Adunni watched, an unsettling feeling gnawing at her. Something was off. The groom's father whispered to Aya Abike, exchanging a quick glance with a bike. The secret exchange made Adunni's skin crawl. Fear flashed in Abike's eyes. It was only for a second, but Adunni caught it. Her heart pounded in response. What secret was being kept? Her pulse quickened as her mind pondered what could be so terrible that it had to be hidden even on a wedding day. As the festivities carried on, Adunni found herself cornered by Iya Abike in the kitchen. The older woman's eyes sparkled with malice. Remember your place, girl, she hissed, too close for comfort. You've no business meddling in things that don't concern you. Adunni felt a surge of defiance. Maybe they don't concern me, she shot back, her voice firm, but Abike is my sister. Aya Abike's laughter was cold, a sound that reminded Adunni of cracking ice. You've been gone too long, Adunni, you wouldn't understand, she retorted, leaving the room. As the day wore on, Adunni listened to more whispers and exchanges she wasn't meant to witness. Little hints pointed to something far darker than a wedding ceremony should harbor. The secret suspended between every smile seemed to grow thicker, and with it a plan began to form in Adunni's mind. Come evening, as laughter echoed around, Adunni made her way to Abike's room. Can we talk? She asked, eyes searching her sister's for trust. Abike hesitated, then nodded. The room was dim, the sun setting fast outside. Adunni's voice shook a little. Are you doing this because you want to? She asked. At that, Abike's facade crumbled, and she burst into tears. I have no choice, Adunni, she sobbed. I owe them money. It's complicated. The admission hung in the air, weighted with desperation. Adunni clenched her fists, anger boiling. A resolution hardened within her. She stepped forward, whispering, "Then let's fix this together, whatever it takes." Adunni's resolve hardened like steel in her chest. She wrapped her arms around her trembling sister. "We will sort this, Abik. You don't have to be trapped. Not like I was," she whispered fiercely. Abik wiped away tears, clutching Adunni's hand as if it were the only thing keeping her afloat. They found Iya Abike near the kitchen, her voice puncturing the air with authority. The old matriarch's laughter with friends halted abruptly as she spotted her daughters approaching. Adunni felt a surge of adrenaline. "Iya Abike, we know," she announced, drawing the attention of everyone present. Conversation ceased, eyes turning in anticipation of the coming storm. "Abike is being forced into this marriage because of debt. You can't do this to her," Adunni stated, her voice steady, even as her heart pounded. She could feel the eyes of the women around them, see their shock, their judgment. Laughter bubbled from Iya Abike, sharp like shards of glass. "And who will save her, you? What do you know of the world, girl?" Abik took a step forward, her voice wavering but persistent. "I am not a pawn, Iya. I choose my own fate," she said, her dignity reclaiming the corners Iya Abike had sought to shred. "We all have a say," a voice broke through, startling everyone. It was Funmi, her eyes burning with unexpected fire. "We all ignored Adunni's cries for too long. Not this time." Abike drew in a shaky breath, giving Adunni a nod. The women, too, began to quietly express indignation, a shift in the air palpable. Chaos threatened to erupt as the groom's family approached, suspicion in their eyes. By now, the tension was palpable, an unspoken challenge, simmering to a boil. The groom's father addressed Iya Abike. "What is this?" he demanded. Abik stepped in front of them all. "I cannot marry your son," she stated with quiet strength. Gasps rippled through the crowd. "You brought shame to us," Iya Abike rasped, her anger directed at her daughters, but her argument was now hollow, missing the support it once commanded. Abike met her mother's gaze with newfound bravery. "True shame would be continuing this deceit." "I refuse," she replied. There was silence, a moment suspended in time where everyone felt the gravity of spoken truth over familial deception. Afterwards, Adunni found herself alone in the quiet of the dusk, overwhelmed by the aftermath. Revenge had given her strength, but as she surveyed the fractured relationships, the cost it exacted was a bitter pill to swallow. "I prayed for your return every day," her father began, his voice hoarse with emotion. "I failed you, Adunni." Adunni turned to him, eyes filled with unshed tears. "Hosanna protect us," she whispered. Funmi approached them quietly, holding a worn Bible. "Here," she offered gently. "The healer of all wounds is not revenge, but forgiveness." Adunni accepted the Bible, its pages worn from years of use. The night was slowly revealing stars as Adunni, feeling the palpable burden of her own bitterness, finally allowed herself to breathe. She opened the Bible to Matthew 5:44. "But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." As dawn approached, the house slowly came alive, a different kind of warmth replacing the previous day's tension. Adunni gathered her courage, realizing autumn winds of change blew through her torn soul. With renewed purpose, Adunni faced the rising sun, its golden light a testament to new beginnings. She may not have perfectly grasped the art of forgiveness yet, but she was willing to learn. When Iya Abike emerged that morning, her eyes were wary, cautious. Adunni met her with an embrace. "For every day we could not understand each other, I forgive you," Adunni murmured, the words tasting like redemption.
Thank you so much for listening to this intriguing story. I hope it touched you or taught you something. For more stories like this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the page. And guys, if you'd like to see a part 2, or you have thoughts on what happened, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next story.